Good Monday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top news stories, let's take a quick look outside that weather window. And I'll tell you what, from the time we got up this morning until now, things really didn't change all that much. As we take a look down the Columbia River at Turtle Rock, you can see in the left center part of your screen there, some dark clouds out there as well. Cold temperatures, that was the name of the game today for far as weather goes. We didn't see temperatures even get to normal today after starting off below where we should be for this time of year. And as far as the week goes, this is what we can expect. Today and Tuesday, a little bit of light snow, but that'll be mainly to our east. We can just expect some mainly cloudy skies, mostly cloudy for Tuesday, a little bit of patchy morning fog. That goes for Wednesday as well. But Wednesday, we could see a little bit of snow shower activity. It may be mixed with rain here in the Wenatchee, Chelan, also Omak areas. Also some rain mixed with snow near Plain, which could be freezing rain. And then for Friday through Sunday, another weak system moves in, and that could bring us some mountain snow. But the good news out of all this, much warmer temperatures, and we'll talk about that as well coming up a little bit later on. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. Icy conditions caused numerous accidents on Interstate 90 Sunday in Grant County and led to the closure of schools Monday in Quincy and Moses Lake. Highway 97 was blocked for about 2 hours on Saturday morning after a two-vehicle accident about 5 miles south of Blewett Pass. And a 70-year-old Nespelem woman was killed Friday night after her car rolled on Highway 155. That was between Cooley Dam and Elmer City. But first, we begin tonight. A three-car accident yesterday afternoon on the BB Bridge sent 2 people to the hospital and closed the bridge for over 3 hours. The Washington State Patrol reports that shortly before 1 o'clock, 40-year-old Susan A. Bales of Auburn and her passenger, 5-year-old Emily Iris McCraggy, were injured after the car Bales was driving was struck by a pickup that was being driven by 24-year-old Gary E. Jensen of Woodinville. The State Patrol says that Jensen's truck was crossing the bridge southbound when it lost control, struck the bridge, and then crossed the center line where it struck Bales' car head-on. Bales was transported by ambulance to Chelan Hospital, while McCraggy was airlifted to Harborview Medical Center in Seattle. Their conditions are not known. 3 people in a third auto involved were not injured. All those involved were wearing seat belts. Jensen faces charges of driving too fast for conditions. Icy conditions caused numerous accidents on Interstate 90 yesterday in Grant County. That led to the closure of schools today in Quincy and Moses Lake. Eastbound I-90 was shut down for about 2 hours near the Winchester Rest Area west of Moses Lake at about 4:30 Sunday afternoon as crews worked to clear several wrecks and apply de-icer to that roadway. There were no serious injuries reported. Kyle Foreman of the Grant County Sheriff's Office has more.
This is Kyle Foreman with the Grant County Sheriff's Office. I'm here with PIO Liz Flores. We're at the westbound Interstate 90 rest area near the site of multiple collisions which have happened on I-90 this evening due to ice and snow conditions. Right now, Interstate 90 is closed at Adams Road eastbound, and there's a detour being provided around the accident scene. So over my shoulder, you can see in the distance that there's flashing lights down there. The slow-moving traffic, the headlights coming towards us, show the vehicles that are being detoured onto the frontage road around the accident scene. And if we spin around this way, over my shoulder, but not in view, is where the collisions are, just over the rise in the hill. So if you're traveling on Interstate 90 right now, between Quincy and Moses Lake, be sure to drive very slow. Right now we have multiple collisions. There are a few people hurt. We don't know the exact number, and we know that there's several vehicles involved. Again, we still don't know the exact number. So this is Kyle Foreman and Liz Flores with the Grant County Sheriff's Office.
Meanwhile, Highway 97 was blocked for about 2 hours Saturday morning after a two-vehicle accident about 5 miles south of Blewett Pass. 23-year-old Dawson Finley of Yakima was airlifted to Harborview Medical Center in Seattle with serious injuries. A 74-year-old Peshastin man and a 32-year-old Wenatchee woman suffered minor injuries and were treated at the scene. The Washington State Patrol said Dawson Finley of Yakima was driving a 1999 GMC Jimmy and attempted to pass other southbound vehicles about 10:30 a.m. when he lost control on ice and collided with a 2019 Chevy Silverado being driven northbound by William Timmermans of Peshastin. The wreck blocked both directions of the highway until afternoon. Well, a 70-year-old Nespelin woman was killed Friday night after her car rolled on Highway 155 between Cooley Dam and Elmer City. The Washington State Patrol says Gloria Atkins was northbound about 7:30 p.m. when her vehicle left the roadway to the right. Her attempts to correct caused the car to roll before coming to a rest on its top on the northbound shoulder. She was declared dead at the scene. Coming up next, the woman accused of robbing campers at Banks Lake and also the mother of Rayana Rosenberg was arraigned in court earlier today. The man suspected of sending white powder in his ballot when he returned it to the Douglas County courtroom is charged with a little-known misdemeanor. And a Friday afternoon fire just outside Leavenworth claimed a vehicle and portions of a garage. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Some jobs are a calling. They require something deeper, an innate devotion to the communities in which we live. At Gisa Credit Union, we help you support local firefighters. With every purchase you make with a Gisa Local Heroes Affinity debit card, we make a donation to select firefighter organizations. After all, we can never repay them, but we can do our best to help a little with the Gisa Firefighters Affinity debit card.
Being able to support yourself and your family is an important part of who we are. We all need to know we're able to provide ourselves with a secure future. Some job seekers have a harder time finding work. That's why Goodwill's Employment Connection Center is here, a free walk-in job search assistance program designed to help people find work. When you shop at or donate to Goodwill, you're really being a job creator, and that's a good thing for everyone's future. Goodwill. There's more behind the store.
Coming home should never be a chore. Let Merry Maids of Wenatchee customize all your cleaning needs. Weekly, bi-weekly, special occasion. Do you have a vacation home that needs cleaning? We clean them too. Locally owned and operated, let Merry Maids do the cleaning while you focus on your family and friends. Merry Maids has special offers to fit your budget. Request your free cleaning estimate today. 509-663-1710.
Welcome back. In another news, the mother of 4 who allegedly took her children along to a campground robbery faces formal charges today. Becca Ray Rosenberg was arraigned in Douglas County Superior Court on counts of second-degree robbery, assault, theft, and reckless endangerment. She and her partner, Kai Michael Shelton, are accused of a September 27th robbery near Banks Lake that turned violent. The two then became fugitives until their arrest on November 13th near Moxie. Shelton is due to be arraigned December 16th. Both Rosenberg and Shelton are being held in the Okanagan County Jail. Rosenberg's children are now in foster care. Well, the man suspected of sending white powder in his ballot when he returned it to the Douglas County Courthouse is charged with a little-known misdemeanor. Howard Allen Lane, a 66-year-old Waterville man, must appear in court on December 17th on a charge of committing a prohibited act in a voting center. Prosecutors filed the charge on November 4th, 2 weeks after a ballot envelope allegedly sent by Lane spilled white powder when staff opened it in the county auditor's elections department. The courthouse was evacuated and shut down for an entire day, a day and a half rather, but the powder was ultimately found to be non-threatening. Police said Lane has denied responsibility. A Friday afternoon fire just outside Leavenworth claimed a vehicle and portions of a garage, but Chelan County Fire District 3 was able to contain the blaze and keep it from spreading to the attached home. The fire was reported about 1:40 p.m. on Emig Drive on the northern outskirts of town. No injuries were reported. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Stay with us.
People are really skeptical of our industry. They have been sold products, they have been sold policies they either don't need, don't understand, confusing. I understand that. We are more about the process and the people. Our SFG roadmap is designed to take care of all of those concerns. For those that have questions about their retirement, we would love the opportunity to sit down and chat with you.
want to help others. You need a solid career. You can have both with help from Charter College. Our 10-month medical assistant program prepares you to work in healthcare settings like physician offices, rehab centers, and clinics. You'll learn to take vitals, assist with exams, administer injections, and maintain records. When you're ready to launch a rewarding healthcare career, stop by our campus at 595 Grant Road across from Safeway, or visit chartercollege.edu.
I'm Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. At Alpine Air, we think of ourselves as customer service-oriented retailers. When you make an appointment, please visit our store, meet our people, see our shop. We are serious about heating and air conditioning. Carrier and Alpine Air are offering huge factory rebates and financing options for all your needs. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Call for your free replacement estimate. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. In tonight's feature story, the Let's Show Up Community Toy Drive kicked off over the weekend. NCWLIFE Channel's Eric Granstrom is part of that toy drive, and he has more.
The third annual event got underway with Friday night's Wenatchee Wild Game as volunteers sold 50-50 raffle tickets and Chuck-a-Pucks. In addition, a giant Les Schwab tire bag was filled with toy donations. Things really got underway Saturday morning at Hooked on Toys as NCWLIFE Channel and KKRV Radio broadcast live. It was a chance to speak with representatives of the recipient organizations.
We help kids with counseling services, child and family counseling services, out-of-home care, foster care services. We've got a great program, Readiness to Learn, which is a school success service.
And they get into the child's world and they find out all about the child and essentially make sure that the child is safe, that they can achieve permanency, which is really a forever home, whether that be by going home to mum and dad or being adopted.
We're a 2-year program, and we just basically give homeless families a place to land, and up to 2 years we work with them to work on goals. And Vanessa could tell you a little bit more about goals.
So I help them develop self-sufficiency plans where they kind of process through, where they are, where they want to be.
SAGE is our local crime victims organization. So we help people who have been victims of domestic violence, sexual assault, victims of crime, and we have a child and family advocacy center.
Cashmere Care has been around for about 4 or 5 years now. It was started by Superintendent Glenn Johnson and dealing with kids that need a little help.
The toy drive took in over $2,000 in cash donations and got off to a great start in lining the tables of Santa's workshop with toys destined to find a way to over 1,500 children in the Wenatchee Valley this year. There'll be an expert shopping spree Wednesday, another live remote Saturday at Hooked on Toys, and the bike build Sunday at Sangster Motors. For more information on the toy drive, search Les Schwab Community Toy Drive on Facebook or see the website at lstoydrive.org. I'm Eric Granstrom, NCWLIFE Channel News.
Time now for a check of your north central Washington weather forecast. Before we get to those details, let's take a peek outside our weather window. A lot of low-hanging clouds today, so not a lot of views from our PTZ cameras today. This one looking down Wenatchee Avenue. Of course, you can see the Coast Hotel off to the right side of our screen, and lots of those low-hanging clouds, as we mentioned. Just foggy conditions, though. Not a lot of precipitation associated with that. Maybe a few stray flurries here and there, but that's about it. The big news today, it stayed awfully cool out there. In fact, temperatures well below where we should be for this time of year. Unofficially, only 28 degrees for our high today. 36 is normal. We started off at 22. That's slightly below 26, which is our normal low temperature. Record high 58 in 1975 and record low 8 degrees in 1985. We did pick up a trace of precipitation, but we're going to stay at 6.52 inches of precip for the year, and that's now a little below where we should be for this time of year. Not much, though, and I think that could change as we see some rain mixed with snow in our forecast. Sunrise this morning, 7:28, and the sunset this afternoon. Man, it's getting early, isn't it? At 4:12. Let's take a peek and see how your Tuesday is going to shape up. Not a whole lot different than today. I know we kind of sound like a broken record, even though tomorrow will be the beginning of a slow warming trend. In fact, 36 Moses Lake, Ephrata, Quincy, also in the Wenatchee area. 34 down in Ellensburg for a high tomorrow. 35 for Cashmere, up in into Chelan 35, and we're pretty consistent all around our viewing area. Omak, you will also see 35 degrees tomorrow. Let's take a look at that surface loop now. Tonight, we will see mostly cloudy skies, a lot like we are right now with calm weather conditions. You can see just some scattered clouds around most of Washington state. Most of the rain and snow shower activity is well up into British Columbia and off the coast. But by Tuesday, things begin to change a little bit. Mostly cloudy skies. We will begin a slow warm up. This is a ridge of high pressure, but a weak system will also slide through the northern part of our viewing area, bringing about a 20% chance of snow here in the Wenatchee Valley. More snow to our north than for here. Cloudy skies for Wednesday morning. It will be a little bit warmer once again, but look at this storm system as it begins to spin off the coast of Washington and Oregon's coast. That means some morning fog on Thursday, cloudy in the afternoon. We will remain mild, still under the influence of a weak ridge of high pressure that's over in the Rockies. As we get to the end of the week on Friday, cloudy skies, this system will kick into gear and it will start to bring showers up into Washington state, but we will be warm, so I really think this will be a rain-snow mix, especially for us in the lower elevations. Some pretty good snow, though, expected for the higher elevations by Friday, possibly into Saturday, too. Most of the storminess will move down to the south. 20% chance for rain mixed with snow in Wenatchee. Still warmer as we get into the weekend, too. Even with all that wet stuff, we're talking temperatures mainly around 40, maybe even some lower 40s, and the same goes for Sunday. Most of the blue is 30s, the green 40s, and even some 50s as we see a slow warm up even into the first part of next week. Let's take a look now at your Patriot Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling 7-day forecast. 28, almost where we should be for low temperatures tonight. Here's that slow warm up. Tuesday, 20% chance for snow and 36, 39 for Wednesday, and look at that then. Thursday and Friday, expect a little bit of morning fog, 40 degrees both days, a 40% chance of rain mixed with snow on Friday. That will be our wettest day of the whole 7-day forecast. For Saturday, maybe a leftover flurry in the morning, mostly cloudy in the afternoon and 41. And look at the end of our weekend on Sunday, mostly sunny by then and mild with a high temperature of 41 degrees. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
It's estimated that 1/3 of Americans do not have a financial plan. At D.A. Davidson, their advisors are working to change that because they understand the importance of planning for the future. At D.A. Davidson, they believe in partnering together to build a strategy tailored to your needs. They spend the time and have the knowledge to help keep your financial future on track. Let D.A. Davidson Financial Advisors of Wenatchee put the strength of advice to work for you.
AC Checker has new owners who put customer service first. When you have to get there on time, call fast, friendly, reliable AC Checker, 663-TAXI. AC Checker has the industry's only on-time or it's free guarantee. Conditions apply. Call AC Checker, 663-TAXI to schedule your cab or schedule online at acchecker.com. Call American Classic Taxi, 663-TAXI. That's 663-8294.
Hi, I'm Ricardo, and this is Amanda, and we are from Impact Auto Sales,
where you can expect a hassle-free car buying experience. With our wide selection of used cars, trucks, and SUVs, let one of our friendly sales staff help you find the vehicle that fits your lifestyle. We have financing available for all credit types and great low rates for first-time buyers. Call us today at 888-8000 or stop by 3522 State Highway 97A in Wenatchee. Impact Auto Sales, where we strive to make an impact on your life and not your wallet.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel. Hi, everybody. I'm Dan Kuntz filling in for Eric Granstrom. Happy Blue Monday. As you can tell, I'm wearing my Seahawks colors for Monday Night Football. 3 days after leading the Washington Huskies to another Apple Cup victory, a stunning announcement today out of Seattle. Chris Peterson stepping aside, the university making that announcement today, saying the defensive coordinator for the Huskies, Jimmy Lake, is going to be named the new head coach, and he's going to coach the Huskies in their upcoming bowl game. Peterson was quoted as saying, "It has been a privilege and a professional dream fulfilled to be a part of this world-class institution. I will forever be grateful, honored, and humbled to have had the opportunity to coach our fine young men on Montlake these past 6 seasons." End quote. The director of athletics for the University of Washington, Jen Cohen, says Peterson will continue in a leadership advisory role. at the University of Washington. Jimmy Lake began his coaching career in the Big Sky Conference at Eastern Washington University. He's also spent time with the staff of Montana State and in the National Football League. Since Chris Peterson took over coaching the Washington Huskies, they have never lost to the Cougars in the Apple Cup, and that happened again on Friday. No real problems. Huskies dominating the Apple Cup. They knock off the Cougars 31-13. Husky quarterback Jacob Eason, 15 for 22, 244 yards and a touchdown through the air. Scored another on the ground. Washington's defense, very impressive on Friday. They gave up an opening drive touchdown to the Cougars, and then the Husky defense simply harassed Wazoo quarterback Anthony Gordon with 5 sacks, a couple of interceptions. The Dogs also forced a big fumble on a Cougar drive deep in Washington territory. Next up for the Huskies, who are 7-6, they're going bowling. We just don't know where. Could be the Las Vegas Bowl, the Holiday Bowl, the Red Box Bowl. It could be in the Sun Bowl in El Paso. The Cougars finished their regular season 6-7. They're predicted to go to either the Las Vegas Bowl or the Cheez-It Bowl in Phoenix. By the way, bowl selections will be on Sunday after the conference championship games on Saturday. Seahawks can take over first place in the NFC West all by themselves with a victory over Minnesota tonight. It's Monday Night Football. Thank you very much, Baltimore. They beat San Francisco yesterday 20-17, so if they beat the Vikings, the Seahawks tonight, they would be 10-2. The 49ers would be 10-2, but the Seahawks own the head-to-head advantage because they beat San Francisco earlier in the year. Whatever the case, Coach Pete Carroll knows that the Vikings are going to be a very tough test tonight.
They're really sound. They know how they want to play, and they have a lot of stuff that complements their base defense. They play really good base defense, but then they have the disguises and the movements because of Harrison and the stuff that he can, he can change every look and fool you with stuff in a really advanced fashion, so you just have to wait them out. You know that they're going to slug the line of scrimmage pretty good on you, and they're going to keep the guys in the box and all that. And then they have a variety of coverage things that they do. Over the years, they've been a really good blitz team with a unique blitz package, and they can pull that out at any time. And they've been good against the run. They're under 100 yards there. They play well on the passing game. It's hard to beat these guys. They have always been a traditional good third down team, a good red zone team. So all the situations they play really well. So there's just no weaknesses here. You just got to go slug it out and hope you can make the plays and move the ball.
Seahawks and Vikings 5:15 kickoff on ESPN. The Wenatchee Wild managed to split over the weekend. BCHL hockey at the Town Toyota Center. They got clobbered on Saturday. Boy, the Nanaimo Clippers just creamed them. They scored in the first minute, and they just kind of kept scoring. It was 4-0 by the end of the first, 6-zip after the second. The Wild finally got on the board in the third with Brian Adams, his 14th goal of the season. But Saturday, a different story. Although the Wild fell behind early, Langley scored 27 seconds into the contest, but Wenatchee, they had an answer as they came out and scored 2 in the second and another in the third to take it 3-2. With the call of the Wenatchee Wild Hockey Network, it's our good friend, Art Checker.
There's a right-handed shot, block, rebound, shot, score. Tristan Frazier finishes it off. Matthew Hubbard got the initial shot, and it hit someone in the back of the leg, and a rebound kicked off to the side. And Tristan Frazier able to sweep it home. For the second time in as many nights, the Wild victimized in the opening minute of the contest. Hastings waits, looks, feeds it up top midpoint where it's played by Overland, and then back over on the near wall for Chorsky. Side of the net, Hastings walks out in front, backhander by Adams, and he scores! Power play goal for the Wild, and they've knotted it up at 1. Tied at 1. Rivermen win the draw, and they'll feed it ahead. Backhanded across left side, in, shot, and a score. Caden Patrick took the shot from the left circle, and it went off the glove as Chenard got a piece of it. Bounced off the glove straight down and back up into the net. Christian Lyon. Off the draw, shot by Hastings and a save made. Bounces into the corner, lobbed ahead, gloved and held in the zone by Overland. His shot, and he scores! Jared Overland with his first goal of the year. Further, but intercepted by Luley. Luley to Hastings. Hastings gains the zone. Rister shoots, and he scores! Oh, from the top of the left circle. Hunter Hastings pulled the trigger and rifled it home. What a shot by Hunter Hastings.
Jaworski tries to get to it. He's got the empty net to shoot at. He'll push it across. Shot off the post by Adams. Oh, Jaworski set it up for Adams, and he rang it off the pipe. 15 seconds left. It's up through center. Herzog tried to fire it in, and it got blocked, went off a body, driven back into the zone, played by Scoville. He works it along the near boards. 4 seconds left. Grabel will control, and this one is just going to run out of time for the Rivermen. And the Wenatchee Wild talked about trying to get the bad taste out of their mouth from last night's game. And nothing like a win on home ice in regulation to achieve that goal.
The Wild wrap up their homestand with a Wednesday game. 6:05, the Penticton V's will be in town. For the NEF football team and Amira Cooley Heartline, their football teams, their respective seasons came to an end in the state semifinals on Saturday. Odessa, they knocked off Aniet 84-20 in Moses Lake, and Amira Cooley Heartline fell to Nacelle in Tumwater. The final there, as you see, 70-44. So the stage is set for the state football championships. It'll all be Saturday, 3 different stadiums in the Tacoma area. The 1B title will be decided at Mount Tahoma Stadium at noon. That's between Nacelle and Odessa. At 4 o'clock, you got Camas and Bothell for the 4A championship. The 1A title between Linden Christian and Royal will kick off at noon at Harry E. Lang Stadium. That's in Lakewood. That'll be followed at 4 by the 2B championship between Kalama and Onalaska. Puyallups Spark Stadium will be the site of the 3A and 2A championships. Eastside Catholic will take on O'Day at noon. And then Steilacoom and Tumwater will get going at 4 o'clock. By the way, the state seating committee did a really good job. 3 of the 6 state title games will be decided between the number 1 and number 2 seeds. That's pretty impressive. The number 1 seed made 5 of the 6 state championship games. The only bracket buster, number 7 Linden Christian, in the 1A tournament, at number 5 Bothell in the 4A bracket. So the high school fall sports schedule comes to an end on Saturday. Winter sports just now starting to ramp up. Let's take a look at the Les Schwab scoreboard from over the weekend. The Aniet and Columbia games, they were canceled on Saturday. At Eastmont, the host Wildcat girls got off to a rough start. They lost to Bothell 42-23, but in Kashmir, Eastmont's Evan Smith sinking 3 free throws in the final seconds. The Wildcat boys beat the Bulldogs in Kashmir 75-74. Go Seahawks. Those are just some of the games that people are playing on this Monday. Grant, back to you.
Dan Kuntz, thank you very much. And speaking of Dan, now let's check in with him for a look at what's coming up tomorrow morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dan, back to you.
Thank you very much, Grant. Tomorrow, live in this very studio, Tom Nees, the executive director of Serve Wenatchee Valley, will be dropping by. They got a big fundraiser coming up Sunday at the Wenatchee High School Auditorium. It is a local performance of Handel's Messiah. And in honor of that, Tom and I will be performing all 53 movements of Messiah in German. It'll be the very first 3-hour program we've ever done. Or we'll just talk about it one way or the other. Join me tomorrow, dark and early, 7 a.m. live right here from Studio 4. Grant, back to you.
Dan, thanks. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we would like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us. Have a great night.
NCWLIFE channel is your home for local news, local weather, and events including live local high school sports. Watch inspiring local shows featuring local people. Don't miss Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Let's learn. Guada TV. Street Talk and other stuff. The 12th District. Life with Lisa. And the Arbiter of Stoke. NCWLIFE channel is your local TV station.
Hey there, Wenatchee. I'm Sean Lee, and I'm inviting you to check out the NCW Movie Guide to keep up on what movies are playing in our town.